Mayoral primary debate hosted by WUSA9 and my colleague and fantastic anchor Lorenzo Hall. People are still talking about this. This is really the first time that people have been able to hear from these two candidates in a lot of ways, though, in a way that was meaningful, without all of the drama.
Yeah.
And they could kind of listen and make their own assessments.
And we covered a lot, which I think was important to a lot of people. The information has been sort of fragmented, but you know, we got a lot in that 1 hour.
You did,
and
you packed it in.
Yeah, you mentioned it was quite contentious, and there was a lot of finger pointing as well.
Yeah, and they were talking about their pitches for the future of D.C.
That's right. Let's listen.
Sharp exchanges and clear divides front and center in the race for D.C.'s next mayor.
In the 5 years she's been on the council, she hasn't delivered anything to lower costs.
He's allowed those rates to go up every single year, did not provide oversight.
At our WUSA9 studios, council member Janeese Lewis George and former council member Kenyan McDuffie squaring off, challenging each other's records and plans for the city.
This housing crisis we're in the city requires a mayor who's going to be ambitious.
The Washington Post knows that our plan is realistic. The Washington Post actually called my opponent's plan unrealistic.
D.C. residents were also concerned about those so-called teen takeovers.
Do you guys believe our government has let our young people down by not providing enough safe, meaningful, and accessible spaces for us to socialize and connect?
I'm going to show up for young folks in Ward 7 and Ward 8, parts of Ward 5, and other communities that have been starving for resources and programming for years.
I want to make sure that you have spaces and places for you to hang out and go like I did as a young person.
We also heard from viewers who attended a watch party at the Strand in Northeast D.C. last night.
I really thought that it was great to have the two top contenders face off head-to-head, because ultimately we know it's going to come down to these two.
Both candidates made great points, and the fact that they could articulate that for everyone to hear was really needed.
I resonate with Janeese Lewis George. Janeese is the change that we want to see in D.C.
He really, for me, covers the entire breadth of experience that we need at this particular moment.
Coming away from this debate, it gives residents and voters an opportunity to really look and see who's going to have our best interests.
All right, so here are the important dates to keep in mind when it comes to voting in D.C. The primary election will be held on June 16th, but early voting begins on June 8th. The general election is on November 3rd, and you can watch that debate, the entire debate again. You can stream it on your own time on WUSA9 Plus and at WUSA9.com.
And it turns out a lot of people are doing just that.